This is just a quick important PSA about your Robin build. If you have 105 effectiveness on your Robin, or let's say you're doing it in a team, you've got Mascot Hazel and Researcher Carrot. Researcher Carrot gives 5 effectiveness to all allies with her skill tree if you have the rune. And then Mascot Hazel gives 10% to all fire element allies, plus 15%. And if you're assuming that you need 105 effectiveness, you would have 90 effectiveness on your Robin instead of 105. This 90 is not enough. If you have both Carrot and Hazel, you actually need 105 effectiveness. And then if you have neither of them, you would need at least 120. So if you're Robin solo, do 120. And this is just because of this device here. This says that when a ranger hero in the back row uses their S2, extends debuff durations of the target by 1 turn, but the important line is here. The final effectiveness chance increases to 100%. And this is kind of a confusing line to a lot of people, but basically this is saying that you can't get 15%ed, because the way 15% works is it's not actually that the enemies have a guaranteed... It's technically true both ways, but the way it actually works in the formula is that your chance to debuff can't pass 85. And that device basically just removes the limitation. It says your value can exceed 85%, it can be 100. In order for us to be 100%, we need to have our effectiveness be equal to or greater than the target's effector's distance, instead of what we normally say, which is your effectiveness can be 15 less than the target's FRES, because it's not going to pass 85 anyways. This boss has 120 effect resistance. If we check here, it's 120, which is why we need 120 F on our Robin as well, which you can go down to 105 if you're using both Hazel and Carrot. So I'm going to, I think right now I have the 105 build, so I'll do a few runs and we'll see. I'll just skip ahead to the part where I get resisted on the debuff extension. So there, we got resisted. You can see the burns were only 1 turn, the boss took a turn. The burns are instantly gone now. And whether you're in a team or by herself, this just means that Robin instantly loses her burns from her S2. They didn't get extended. You also can't extend them again with her S3. So this is just pretty important because not only does this apply to the debuff extension, this device, which not something that you would expect to be the case, but this final effectiveness chance increases to 100%, applies to the entire S2 and not just the debuff extension. Your burns can't get resisted either if you have 120 effectiveness. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but this is me doing roughly 18 runs in a row, which is 51 burns landed in a row, and the odds of that happening, assuming that the device doesn't apply to the burns, so we have an 85% chance to land the debuffs, is 0.0296%, which sure, it could happen, but honestly, like, you can look at your own runs, your burns won't be getting resisted if you have 120 effectiveness, so this is just saying that this does also apply to the burns as well. That's it. It's just making sure that you guys have enough effectiveness on your Robin. Missing that initial debuff extension is really annoying just because her burns are only 1 turn, so if you miss the extension, the boss is instantly going to remove all of Robin's burns, and she's not going to get a chance to extend it with S3 either. This is relevant for both the full team and solo, especially when you're solo, because you're not going to have any other debuff sources besides her S2, though this device makes it so that her S2 will come up pretty quickly. Still though, for your most consistency, make sure you have 120 effectiveness.